The first part is regarding understanding history. So if you understand history properly, you will be able to study it also in a better manner. So in order to understand history, you need to understand the importance of time, space, connecting the strong points, importance of story, then gathering information from movies, then integrating the information, and also familiarizing yourself with the text. So these are the important components you need to understand when you are approaching history, okay, for learning history in an efficient manner. The first, the significance of time. Let's see how time is important in history. History, when you look at history, it is always connected with chronology. Okay, chronology is something related with time. Okay, so it is a backbone of history. There is no doubt in that. Whenever we say something that is history, we are actually referring to a time period or the past time period. Okay, so it allows us to understand the sequence of events. So it will be easy for us to understand the years. Okay, like something happened in 1950, then something happened in 1960, 1970, 1980. That order you will be able to have, that logical understanding and the logical order you will be able to create if you focus on the time. Then it will also help us to locate the societies, the civilizations, the technologies, the ideas, okay, the various wars, various events that happened in the past. You will be able to locate that, you will be able to trace that. How? Because you are actually dealing with the time. Once you understand the time, you'll be able to locate it properly. It enables us to learn from the past and make informed decisions for the future. So basically, that is the objective of history also. Why we are actually studying history? Understanding the past. So in the past, what all things we have actually done, what all things were actually productive, what all things were actually a blunder. So if that is a blunder, then if it is something bad for the society, then we should not be repeating that. So that is why we actually study past in detail. Then the time always gives us a continuum. Okay, it's a continuous thing. And if you are connecting these dots very clearly, that continuity, if you're actually connecting it properly, you will not forget the history, you will not forget this subject, the concepts discussed in that also. Okay, so how you can get a proper picture about history without mentioning about the time, you won't be able to get the proper picture of a history. Anything that we are actually discussing in history, just understand that without referring to time, you won't get the importance of that. Okay, like if you're discussing about Indus Valley civilization, you can say that Indus Valley civilization features are this and all those things, but without understanding the time frame, you will get confused. Which one was earlier, Mauryan Empire or Indus Valley civilization, or Chola Empire or Indus Valley civilization? So these kinds of confusion can arise if you don't have an idea about the time frame. Okay, then time also helps us see the impact of decisions made by individuals and societies over centuries. So some of the decisions made by our rulers during the past may not be applicable today, but the crux, the essence of whatever they have actually introduced may be able to introduce today. Okay, because in the past our social structure was different. There were a lot of atrocities existed in our society, discrimination existed in our society. So all those things we won't be able to replicate now, but there are certain policies which we will be able to replicate also. That is the reason why we are studying history in detail. Okay, so that's the importance of time. Now coming to space. Okay, two important crucial areas of history, time and space. So if you are simply talking about time, that will not give you a picture, that will not give any clarity to you. But if you are also connecting that time with a space, that is a geographical location or a territory or a particular environment or a particular country, whatever it is, then you will get the picture. The picture will be much more clear when you're connecting time and space together in history. So if you want to study about the societies, the movement of societies, if you want to study about the civilizations, without understanding the space, you won't be able to get the picture of it. Okay, that space, where is it actually happening? That is the reason why when we are studying Indus Valley civilization, we will locate the places also. Where is Harappa? Where is Mohenjo-daro? Where is Lothal? Where is Kalibangan? So all these places we will locate. Why we are locating it? It is because that location is actually giving us more clarity. Okay, so geography shapes the history. Then it shapes the way civilizations form, expand, or decline. So that is also important. Like there are certain civilizations which were perished because of the natural calamities. One example is the Harappan civilization, Indus Valley civilization itself. It was a flood is considered to be the cause of uh, the um, the end of Harappan civilization. But why this flood happened? It's because of their location, because this civilization was happening on the banks of the river Indus. So if a flood comes, then definitely that is going to affect the people who are living on the banks of the river. So that itself is geography. That is how we are connecting geography with the past. So we will get more clarity when you are understanding the space. Different regions have distinct cultures, languages, and traditions. Okay, we will study that when we go into the details of history. You will actually study that. Okay, the African terrain is entirely different from European terrain. European terrain is entirely different from the American terrain, or American terrain is entirely different from the Indian terrain. So that makes a difference. Why in some places you will be able to see a lot of agriculture practices going on? It's because they have enough space, they have enough places for cultivation. Arab countries, if you look at it, you can't say that the agriculture is possible in that area, but they are making it possible there. But still, naturally, in a geographical scenario, if you look at, it will be very difficult to go with agriculture in that particular area. So that is the reason why we are saying geography really affects the history. So if you want to study about the Arabian history without understanding the geography, you won't understand anything about the history of Arabia. The geography is very important. That is the space, that is the place. Then the concept of space is fundamental to understanding conquest, colonization, and conflict. Very important thing that we need to understand here is the arrival of the Europeans. Why they came to India? It's because of the place. It's because of the geography they came to India. Because India was known for its splendor and prestige during that time. Okay, we were known for our, spices. So that attracts them to India during that time. The same case with other countries also. And why a lot of conquests happening? Why people want to have control over certain territories? It's all based on the space. Space can be a source of unity or division in history. That is also another important one. And the best example is India itself. The whole undivided India. What was the main problem related to the partition? Space, right? Pakistan is another space, another location, another place. But initially that was part of the undivided India. So they wanted that place. And now also there are a lot of problems going on in our border because they want place. That fight is actually going on because of the importance of place. So without this connection, without making it very clear in your mind that space and time is important in understanding history, you won't get the clear picture about what you are studying. Okay, so now apart from the time and the space, okay, let's see what is more important. Creating strong points, very important. Okay, because if you want to understand history, the only way in which you can understand history is by connecting it. Okay, you should be able to connect this. Why I am able to tell that, okay, the sequence of the history in India, that is like our history started with the Indus Valley civilization. From there we went to Vedic civilization. From there we can see that Mahajanapadas existed. From Mahajanapadas you could see that the religions, the main religions like the Buddhism and Jainism existed. Then the Mauryan Empire came. After the Mauryan Empire, you could see that the one of the major empire was the Gupta Empire came. So how I am actually remembering these things? Because I have my own connections, I have my own strong points in these areas. That is the reason why I'm not confusing also. If somebody is asking me if Gupta or Maurya, which one is earlier, I'll be able to clearly say that it is Maurya is earlier. If somebody is asking me Harappan civilization or Vedic civilization, which one is earlier, I'll clearly tell them that it is the Harappan civilization was earlier. It's because I have strong points, maybe 1 or 2 points, which are actually very strong, and I will be able to remember that also. So these strong points you should also make. Okay, you have your own strong point, you should make your own strong points. Okay, in Indus Valley civilization, you may be connecting with the Lothal, or some other person may be connecting with the Mohenjo-daro, some other person may be connected with the Harappan. So you might have seen that in the map, or you might have gone through that particular place, or whatever that connection may be. You should have a strong point or strong connection that will help you to remember it easily. Okay, that is what creating strong points, your own strong points. So based on your convenience, understanding, and easiness, choose your strong points. That is what I was telling you. And you need to connect this also. You should be able to connect this. So one best example I can tell you is when you are looking at the British administration in India. I know that British administration has got its stronghold in India when they have got an upper hand in the Bengal region or in the Kolkata region. So how that happened and when did that happen? It was happened in the year 1757. That was Battle of Plassey. Yes, very good. Battle of Plassey. So they got an upper hand in that region. Now, another major war happened, or another major uprising happened in India. So I should be able to connect that also. So how I am connecting it? After 100 years of this Battle of Plassey, we have actually witnessed another uprising in India. That was 1857. What was that?
The First War of Indian Independence.
First War of Indian Independence. And then the duration became very less, because after 90 years of the First War of Indian Independence, or the 1857 revolt, we got our independence, right? 1947. So that's a strong connection. That's a strong connection. Then now, if I want to add more information, so how will I be able to add? I know that during the time frame 1757 to 1857, the rule was under the control of East India Company, because I know that is the connection I am making. But after 1857 revolt, what happened was the rule came in the hands of Crown, the British Crown. Now, whatever happening during that time, it is directly administered by Britain. Whatever happening before that was actually directly administered in India only by the East India Company. So I'll be able to connect it easily. Macaulay minutes, if somebody is asking me Macaulay minutes, which time period it actually came, I know that it was not during the time of the British Crown rule. It was during the time of East India Company. So I should go back to, from 1857, go backwards, then I'll get a date. Okay, so this is how creating strong points will help you in understanding history. So is that clear? Whatever I'm telling you, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you got the connection related to time, space, and also the importance of creating strong points, right?
Points. Yes, sir.
Okay. You can create your own strong points. So because whatever you think is a strong point may not be a strong point for me, may not be a connection point for me. Okay, so you have to create your own strong point. It is like connecting the dots only. If you have these dots everywhere, during this time frame, if you have these dots, then it will be easy for you to connect and make it as a story. Okay, so that is the importance of understanding history. Okay, another way in which you can actually understand history. Now, creating your story. It's a very powerful method, not only in history, but history is the best thing that you can actually study through story. History, politics, international relations, all these things you will be able to study in a story manner. Because what I'm telling about international relations, it's actually history we are talking about. Suppose if there is a strong connection between India and Russia, there is a history to it. But that history also you're studying in international relations only, or in the world history. But that is also a story. You're studying it. If you're actually understanding politics, the evolution of democracy in the world, you are actually studying past the history only. You're actually studying the story. So everything which is actually connected with story has some kind of connection with history. Okay, so that's very, very important to understand or to create your own story. The perfect way in which you create the story, you will be able to remember it easily. So it is exactly the same like how you're actually watching a movie. So which movie you watch and which movie you'll be able to remember properly without any doubts, you'll be able to remember properly if they have a strong script, if they have a strong story, a story which is you are able to connect. If it is having some kind of a personalized touch with you, that story, then definitely you are going to remember that. So that's the importance of creating story. So connecting with the past. Stories provide a relatable and engaging way to connect with historical events, people, and cultures. Have you ever watched a movie called Gandhi? Richard Attenborough's movie, Gandhi. Have you watched that movie?
No, sir.
You have to watch that movie. So when you're watching that movie, you will see the difference. You will see the difference in the sense that movie is actually a story. Okay, they are telling about the life of Mahatma Gandhi. So that you'll be able to connect it properly. But if you're reading through an academic textbook, if you're actually reading the life of Mahatma Gandhi, you're actually reading certain events, certain connections, events only. Sometimes you won't get that connection. Sometimes you won't make that connection. If people are very strong in reading articles, reading magazines, reading stories, reading novels, etc., they will be able to connect it because they are more inclined towards stories, reading. Through reading, they'll be able to create that story. But there are certain people who are highly visual in nature. Okay, because when they watch something, they will be able to grasp it easily. So such people can actually understand by understanding the life of Mahatma Gandhi by actually watching the movie Gandhi by Richard Attenborough. It is easily available in YouTube also. You can watch that. Once you watch that, no, you will understand the Indian history very clearly. The modern Indian history, you'll be able to understand it clearly. Okay, then you are actually studying it. No, it will be easy for you to connect also. You will be able to connect it very, very, very easily. Okay, suppose there are certain movies that you watch, and these movies may be shot in some particular places. Okay, some palaces or whatever it is. So if you get a chance to visit that particular place, you will definitely have a connection with that particular movie. You will have that picture. At least you will mention about that movie when you are in that particular place. So that is the reason, that is the power of actually connection or association in our brain. That is the way it works. Okay, so create your own story, emotional engagement. Okay, that is the reason why we remember movies, because that it has emotions. Once you understand the emotions, you'll be able to relate to it. If you are going through the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, you'll be able to relate the emotion, the brutal incident that happened in the history of India. You'll be able to see the emotions. You will also feel like taking a retaliatory action. You will also feel like, okay, going against the British administration. So that's the emotion. That emotion will actually help you to remember it easily. When Lala Lajpat Rai was died, actually he was killed. Okay, in a particular protest, he was actually killed during a lathi charge. He got affected and he got killed in that. And to retaliate his death only, Bhagat Singh and his close associates, they actually went and murdered Saunders. Okay, so when you're actually reading it or when you're actually watching it, you will be able to relate with that emotion. You will be able to relate it. Why Bhagat Singh has taken this an act, or why he has actually followed such an act. You'll be able to connect it. So throughout the history, if you study, these connections or these stories will help you to understand the history or the subject in a better manner. Humanizing history, then multiple perspectives you will get. Okay, like when you are actually watching, there are two important movies. I can tell you related to the life of Bhagat Singh. There are two important Hindi movies. Okay, one acted by Bobby Deol, okay, as Bhagat Singh, and another one it was acted by the actress Ajay Devgan. Okay, two important movies which is connected with the life of Bhagat Singh. Just watch that. Two movies, you watch that. You will be able to connect it. Okay, two different stories, and these stories are actually portrayed in two different ways, two different viewpoints. But what they are intended to say, they are intended to say the same thing: the life of Bhagat Singh. Just watch the movie Ambedkar. The actor is Mammootty. Mammootty is actually acting as the actor in Ambedkar. Watch the movie. You will feel the life of Ambedkar. You will be able to connect emotionally. You will be able to connect with the life of Ambedkar and why he has actually taken certain decisions in his life. Okay, so this is the way in which stories influence us. Okay, so these movies you can definitely watch. It is not a waste of time. Gandhi movie, then this Bhagat Singh movie I was actually mentioning about, and Ambedkar movie. All these movies you watch, you will get different perspectives of Indian national movement. When you're actually watching Mahatma Gandhi's movie, you will see the Pune Pact being signed, the discussions which are going on between Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi from the perspective of Gandhi. But when you're actually watching Ambedkar movie, you will also see another perspective in which how Pune Pact came into being. Okay, from the perspective or from the viewpoint of Ambedkar. Okay, so all these things, these different multiple viewpoints will actually make your understanding very strong. Okay, is that clear? Are you able to?
Clear, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the importance of story. Then integrate and learn. Okay, try to integrate and learn. This I've already told you in the class. Okay, because you should be able to connect with geography. You should be able to connect with economics. You should be able to connect with the literatures. All these things will help you to understand the concepts clear. Like I've already told you why Europeans came to India. There is only one reason: trade. And how trade is actually happening, why trade is actually important for them, because they knew that India has rich resources. That is the reason why they came to India. Clear, no? So now when you're talking about resources, you should be able to connect that with geography. You should be able to connect that with economics. Is that clear? What I'm trying to say, are you able to follow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So whenever you are studying something, you should not study it as a watertight compartment. Like, okay, history, I'm studying history. Now I'm studying history only. No. When you're studying history, you're actually studying geography also. You're actually studying politics also. You're actually studying economics also. Just try to integrate and study. Then you don't need to invest that much time on studying. Okay, so whatever you have learned in history will definitely contribute to you in geography also. Definitely it will contribute to you in understanding politics also. So that is the reason why integrating and learning will help you enhance your memory and enhance your broader understanding also. Critical thinking, that will definitely improve your critical thinking. When you'll be able to ask certain questions instead of just simply reading certain things and trying to mug up things, by heart things. You will have your own questions in your mind. Why? Because when we discuss about this particular event, the geography is not actually contributing to it. Why geography is not supporting? Okay, one simple question, very simple question. During the time of Britishers here, British Army, do you think British Army was, more in number, or Indian rulers had more number of, soldiers in their army? Who were having more number of soldiers? British rulers or Indian rulers?
In India, Indian army is more.
Okay. So another question: do you think they have actually, brought all these Britishers here? Whoever is there in the British Army, all those people belong to Britain. Do you think so?
No, they were.
Which means they belong to India, right?
Yeah, yes.
So then when we use our common sense, we will definitely have a question. Actually, Indians were fighting against Indians, right? During that time.
Yes, yes, sir.
The people who were at the helm of affairs, that means the Britishers, they were only leading them. Who are actually fighting? Indians were fighting against Indians, right? So this is a common sense. So it's like, then we will think like, okay, if we were together, if we were not taking an action like that, if they were actually taking a decision like, no, I'm not going to fight against my fellow human being here or my fellow Indian here, then what would have been the history of India? Right? You can actually ask this question. That's a logical question. Okay. It has its own connection with the geography. It has its own connection with the politics existed here. Because politics is another important area where history has very strong connection. Why people were fighting? Because they were not having unity. In India, they were not having unity. That's why they are actually fighting each other. So these are the ways in which you can integrate and learn. You should be able to ask better questions. That will create your understanding very efficient. Okay. Now, familiarize the text and read. This also, I think I have mentioned to you in one class, how you need to start your academic test reading. Because when you are actually going through the foundation. But after this foundation, there is a phase where you have to go through certain academic textbooks to understand history in detail. Then during that time, you have to follow certain strategies while reading. Okay, it is a history book. It is not a novel, so you won't get the connection. The book will not actually retain your focus there. It will not have the capacity to retain your focus. Based on your interest, you will get retained or not. That is the point here. If you are having very strong interest in that particular topic that you're studying, then your focus will be retained there. But if you don't have that interest and you are studying it for the sake of study, then the focus will go somewhere. So if in such cases, what you can do is understand the concept first, the context first. First, understand the context. What is that book all about? Then go into the details of the book. Okay, first understanding the context, how you can actually understand the context, familiarize that textbook. Go through each headings, go through each subheadings. Then you will be able to familiarize with that textbook. Now go into the deeper aspects of it, because you now know the broader story of that particular book. Now you can go into the details of each part. But if you are following a step like you are starting from the first page onwards, you start reading, I'm pretty sure maybe within the 5th page or 6th page, you will feel sleepy. You will feel like it's a boring exercise because you don't know the picture, where you are going, you don't have an idea. But if you know where I am going, what I am going to do in a broader aspect, and then you are taking each step, it will be very, very easy for you. Is that clear what I am trying to discuss here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's a very important technique that you need to follow in your whole preparation journey, not only for history, for any subject. This technique you should have an idea. Okay, technique you should definitely follow. Okay.
Welcome to India's most affordable coaching experience for the IAS exam. Whether you are just starting your preparation or planning to appear for the next year's exam, we have got you covered with a program that is perfect for everyone. You won't believe the price. Yes, you heard that right. This comprehensive course offers unmatched value, making it accessible to everyone. And here is the best part. You can learn right from the comfort of your home. No need to commute, no need to worry about missing classes. Wherever you are, you can learn, grow and prepare for your dream job. With detailed topic-specific videos, we cover all the general studies subjects you need for the exam. Every topic is explained thoroughly so that you build a strong understanding of the concepts. So whether you are at home or on the go, this course fits perfectly into your routine. Don't miss out on this opportunity to get India's best IAS coaching experience at the most affordable price.